Hello YouTube, the Gun Nut here. It's another great day to be an American. Let freedom reign. Well, this Sunday morning doing a little coffee chat. Not feeling the greatest, so please ignore my raspy voice. That warm coffee helps. I just wanted to touch on a few subjects today. I'm not going to make it out to the range, being not feeling very good, plus the weather outside is frightful. Well, it's at least windy. So yesterday I was getting ready to, thinking I was going to have everything ready to go today, and saw that wind speeds up to, gusts up to 35 with sustained winds around 18. Decided I didn't want to waste my hand loads out there in those conditions. I wanted to make sure I got good results, or that I got results that I could trust what they were telling me. So today, decided to sit down and do a little coffee chat. This is only my second one ever. Thought we'd see how it goes. I'm going to touch on three main subjects. The school shooting a little bit down in Florida. Going to touch on some of my guns that I've been dreaming about getting here in the future. And for me, dream guns, I usually keep it at a practical, you know, I'm not dreaming for 50 BMGs or things like that. Well, I am, but these are more guns that I'm planning on getting some, you know, eventually, realistically. And then we'll talk a little bit about some of the upcoming videos and what I've been working on, or will be working on, when the weather and my health cooperate. So we'll go ahead and start with that school shooting in Florida. I guess I'm not going to talk too much about it. I just, heart and prayers go out to the families affected. I just don't understand how the government, how the FBI can miss what they missed, how the school can miss what they missed about these kids. They're just not taking threats seriously enough in this country. And we're not taking school safety seriously enough. And by that I don't mean disarming, I mean arming. Arming appropriate people within the schools, so when something like this happens, they can defend our kids. And I have 3 boys, and it's close to my heart that things like this can happen to the children. And I, you know, personally would be fine with people being able to carry concealed in school, so we could defend ourselves and our children. Moving on to other subjects, kind of my guns I've been thinking about. You know, I'm always planning a list of guns, a few deep, that will be the next things that I want to get. When it comes to the AR side of things, I would really like to build a lower with a fixed buttstock with the you know, the rifle length system. And for uppers, I would like to basically get 2 uppers for that lower. I'm looking at a longer barrel 223, probably getting 223 Wild. Looking at maybe a White Oaks Armament barrel. Johnny Reloading's bench really been influencing me, and I just want something that's going to be as accurate as I can get in 223, and then I'm going to mess around with hand loads a lot more in that gun. That gun would be another varmint rig that can take out west for prairie dog shooting. Trying to gear up for that. Hopefully that'll happen in the next year or two. And then the other upper I'd be looking at is 224 Valkyrie. That seems like a really cool cartridge. I'm holding off on that. I doubt that I would touch that for another year or so, or maybe 2. And we'll just see how things develop there before we jump in. And we'll add an upper to the lower on that. And then that, yeah, I want to do some cool things with that lower, at least for me. Usually I go cheap. I'd like to go more like what I want. And same thing on those uppers. I've never built an upper, only lowers. So I'm thinking this is the time to maybe get into building those uppers myself. When it comes to other guns, still got a couple of handguns on the list. Looking at a Smith & Wesson revolver, most likely 357 4-inch barrel for ease of packing out in the woods. Looking at 1911, definitely want to get a 1911. Haven't settled on a particular model or whatever yet. And I'm really getting you know, all the CZ guys. Really like that that gray, that tactical or urban gray or whatever it was that Coda Boy 32 reviewed recently. I'm definitely thinking I might be having to get myself one of those down the road. So those are some of the guns. Eventually, though, I would like to get a more of a sporter weight, and the caliber that I've wanted for years in a sporter weight lightweight rifle bolt action has been 7mm 08. I don't have any 7MMs in the collection, so that might be one we add down the road as well. Who knows, it might even have a classic wood stock. I really always wanted a Model 70 featherweight. But there's a lot of new ones out there too. The Brownings look pretty sweet. So we'll have to see. That's a ways out. I would imagine more than a year. So we're just you know, kind of looking ahead, dreaming about guns. Let me know what you guys' gun dreams are down below. But looking at upcoming videos, I have a lot of things I want to do. I have a trigger coming in for my Grey Wolf lower. So not this one. This one has the Velocity trigger in, which I like. But I decided to try out that LaRue MBT, meticulously built trigger. So I got one of those coming someday. I picked the slow option, so it's on back order. Who knows when it'll ship, so can't promise any timing on that. Johnny's using it over there. Johnny's reloading bench. Got the hand loads loaded up for, or several hand loads loaded up for 6.5 Creedmoor to test out. It's just getting the weather and the health and the availability of time to cooperate. I think put some videos out there on some of my reloading. So I got the 140 grain ELDMs with IMR 4451, and I've also got those 140 grain ELDMs loaded up with H4350. So those will be a good comparison between those two powders. And I had picked up some of the Sierra 123 grain Match Kings, and I got those loaded with Varget, so I got 20 of those. So I got 60 rounds loaded up to get out and try out. It's a matter of time. I was able to pick up a few more pounds of H4350. It came back in stock at my local reloading store, which is Rec Hobbs, Sauk Prairie, Wisconsin. While I was there, I also picked up some of these 142 grain Sierra Match Kings, and they're kind of on the expensive side. I was having an haul in between picking up another box of the ELDMs, and I decided, you know what, let's try something different. But these were 12 bucks more. I think for a box, they're almost 40 bucks. So I don't know, I'll be shooting those a lot, but I wanted to try them out because I like Sierra bullets, and they usually shoot pretty well for me. Behind me, we got my Nemesis, the 6.5 Grendel, and it doesn't seem that this particular caliber really likes to cooperate with me. I was out at the range with it the same time when I was out with Creedmoor last weekend, and I didn't show you guys any of those results because honestly they weren't really worth showing, but let's take a look at them. So I shot three shot groups with the 123 grain SST. They ranged from 1.04, which is not a bad group, up to 1.85. So I mean there's some promise there. But right now I'm really just considering that this gun is more of a 1.5 to 2 MOA, at least with what I've been able to shoot through it so far. I got a 2-inch group here with my hand loads with the 120 grain Sierra Pro Hunter. I think it was 28.5 grains of Reloader 15. And I have shot 3-shot groups of that under an inch. So again, you know, maybe it's a shooting problem, but there's another 5-shot group with those 120 grain Sierra Pro Hunters at 1.31. 107 grain hollow point bowtail Sierra. 4 shots went into 1.09, and then I actually had 2 shots for some reason that were loaded. I don't know what I had done, but I had 2 left that were a different charge level, and I shot those, and those went a little bit lower. So that opened up the overall 6-shot group to 2.14, but again, I think I would just look at this. So not horrible, but you know, I really want to find a load that'll shoot under 1 MOA consistently for me in the Grendel. I'm going to try load some more of the 120 grain hollow point bowtails that I had gotten for the Grendel with some different powders and different charge weights. And then I also have these 123 grain hollow point bowtails that I got recently. So this is their newer, you know, a longer bullet. More for what I got for the Creedmoor, but I might try those as well. Really appreciate you watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and you guys be safe out there.